We've got a new week's worth of comics, variants, trade paperbacks, and hardcovers releasing on May 28th, 2025, along with the possibility of the Marvel and DC universes uniting again. Let's talk about it all here on the cover story. Jumping right into the news, we're going to kick things off here with W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo bringing their ice cream flavored powers over to the pages of Superman. They're going to be working on a new Black Label project that kicks off in August, where Superman is going to find out that there is a multitude of new colored kryptonites that he is going to have to investigate and be exposed to, and we're going to find out what that means and how they're going to interact with him as a being of Krypton. This is incredibly exciting because it is a creative team that isn't necessarily known for the super heroic comics that they've worked on in the past. In fact, it's more esoteric and existential books like in Ice Cream Man, where they're dealing with big ideas and grand scope kind of things. I'm really excited to see what Kal-El is going to be doing in this book and how they're going to bring that prowess over and really make it something new and interesting. The next book being released here is going to be Casey Jones, a new miniseries written by Alex Packnadel from IDW. The TMNT universe continues to grow and expand here over at IDW, as we were previously heard that Dan Waters is going to be taking over the character of Shredder. That already had me excited, but now Alex Packnadel is writing the character of Casey Jones, and this has me totally pumped. Casey Jones has been my absolute favorite character in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe, and to have a writer of the prowess of Alex Packnadel taking on that property, ooh, that's going to be awesome. It really makes me remember this TKO book that he had done in the past here called Red Fork, and I really like that gritty, down-to-earth quality that he can bring to a storyline. He's not just the heady sci-fi type of writer. He can write really introspective, heartfelt characters, and I think he's going to bring that to Casey Jones in a really great way. I'm excited to see where he's going to go with this. It's a mini-series that's going to be releasing this September. The next book we're going to be looking at is the reintroduction of Frank Castle in the Marvel Universe using the Punisher moniker. So Punisher is back. He's going to have his own Red Band title here, so we know it's going to be gritty and bloody and everything that you would expect from the character of Frank Castle. And now it looks like it's going to be a much different take than what we had previously with Jason Aaron on the reins. That was a very divisive run on that book and where they took that character, and it was a very love it, hate it type of scenario that they were dealing with. Now it looks like we're getting traditional Punisher. This is going to be helmed by Benjamin Percy, who's kind of made a name for himself writing characters that are street level and grounded, like Wolverine in his run with the time in Krakoa. So this is going to be something that's going to be interesting. I think it's going to scratch the itch of a lot of the people that wanted that traditional character of the Punisher back in the Marvel Universe. We're going to see where this goes. I'm definitely excited to see issue number 1. The next property we're going to be talking about is Escape, the new book by Rick Remender with artwork by Daniel Acuna. This is going to be taking from the playbook of books like Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees, where it's going to be the story of an anthropomorphic character. It's going to be a bear set in wartime. It's not afraid to get gritty and grounded, and from what I can glean from the preview pages and the kind of liner notes that we've gotten so far, this looks like it's going to be an intense type of book, even though we're dealing with these, animal creatures. We've seen this in previous other books as well, like Black Sad, where they're not afraid to get really adult and really heavy with ideas here, even though these characters could be perceived as something more storybook-like or childlike. But I'm definitely excited. Rick Remender has always put out fantastic work. He's earned a new number 1 every single time, so I'm definitely going to be picking this up. With our final news item here, we're talking about the fact that Mark Millar may or may not be teasing the fact that he's working on a property at both Marvel and DC, which very well could be Marvel versus DC. We haven't seen anything like this since the onset of the Amalgam Universe, the Marvel versus DC storyline that really just kind of pitted both characters against each other within the greater universes and ended up merging those properties together. Mark Millar put out a little bit of a tweet recently that kind of pointed to the fact that he's working on these properties. It may already have been debunked. Time will tell on that. But the notion of Mark Millar and his bombastic ideas being put forth in both universes, man, that could be really awesome. We're going to see what that all means here, but in the meantime, all of the links for these storylines could be seen in the description down below. All right, let's jump into the books that I plan on picking up from my LCS on May 28th, 2025, and what I plan on reviewing. Starting with Absolute Martian Manhunter number 3. I've really enjoyed what they've been doing so far in this series, and issue 3s are kind of the linchpin when the story really starts to take shape and take form, so I'm really stoked to see what Dennis Camp is going to bring to this storyline. Absolute Wonder Woman number 8. Kelly Thompson has done a fantastic job on this book, and Hayden Sherman is now coming back to the book here after taking a couple issues off for a little mini arc. So we're going to see where this adventure takes Diana and what's coming down the pipeline. Assorted Crisis Events number 3. So we have the double dip of Dennis Camp here, and this is the anthology series, so we don't really know what we're going to get delivered. If it's anything like issues 1 and 2, though, I'm going to be anticipating that I get a little bit surprised on what we get. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell number 2. This has been awesome. I can't wait to see what we get in the pages of this book, which is really the old man Matt Murdock kind of storyline that we're getting. This is only a 3-issue series, so we're at the midpoint here, and I really want to see where they're going to be pushing the narrative forward. Green Arrow number 24. This strikes the ending to the first arc of Chris Condon's time with the character of Green Arrow, and I have to say, I've loved every single issue that we've gotten. It's gritty, it's grounded, and I'm sure this is going to put the bow on that first arc and tell us where we're going to be going from here on out. Hyde Street number 6. It looks like we're going to be spending a little bit more time with the X-Ray Man here, and I'm kind of excited about that. We've spent a couple issues here learning about some other new ancillary characters and kind of shaping this universe, but he's been our main player, so I'm really excited to see, spend some more time with him and see where he takes the storyline. Minor Arcana number 7. Our main player has really tried to pull herself out of the town that she grew up in and the town that she's now residing in again, but now it's looking like she's forming the relationships and the friendships again that she's going to need to kind of further investigate these new powers that she's manifesting and what it really means for the town and the character of her grandfather, who seems to be popping up in her dreams more and more. Superman number 26. Joshua Williamson has been doing awesome things in this book. It's been arguably one of my favorite superhero comics of recent history, and he's really playing with some fun ideas here, particularly things revolving around Clark's power and his ability to harness his power and make sure that he's in total control of everything that's happening here. He's been struggling with that a little bit, and I think that it's going to come to a boiling point here in the very near future. The Department of Truth, number 30. If you know the Department of Truth, you know that up is down, left is right. Nothing is what you actually expect here, and that's kind of the best part about this book. I really like what James Tynion is doing in this book. It's been the one that's gotten its hooks in me the deepest. I never know what to expect, but I kind of love that I never know. The Goddamn Tragedy, number 1. I'm a big fan of Chris Condon as a creator, and this is a new property that he's going to be taking over writing duty on. I don't know many details as of yet. It's a new number 1. I just kind of have to dive in and see what's going on here, considering the credits that he has in the past, like the aforementioned Green Arrow and books like That Texas Blood. Similar to our previous book, The Pale Knight number 1 is coming out here, written by Peter Milligan. And if you know me, I'm a huge fan of his writing style. I really like the properties that he's done, even in the recent past here, like American Ronin from AWA. But more particularly, I love his run on Shade the Changing Man from the past. This looks to have a really great artistic style. I love the way that the cover looks here. It's coming out from Mad Cave Comics as well, who I have a lot of trust with. So I'm ready to dive in and see what this is all about. The Power Fantasy number 9. I feel like these last couple issues of the Power Fantasy have been offering a lot of revelations and a lot of different mysteries have been answered about our characters and the uneasy alliances that they all have with one another. Now I feel like the plot and narrative are going to be pushed forward here much more as we get to kind of see what the landscape of this world is going to be like, knowing all the details of what we know about these characters. Ultimate Spider-Man number 17. We now know a little bit more about what's been happening with the nature of the character of Mysterio in the pages of this book and what their relationship is like with Kingpin and the Crime Syndicate, Harry Osborn, Peter Parker, and now we're going to see a little bit more about what the future holds for characters like the Green Goblin. We're taking everyone down with us, number 3. This is a linchpin kind of issue for me, as I've kind of enjoyed everything that's happened with issues 1 and 2, but I'm looking for that hook and that reason to see why I'm going to continue coming back for more. This book has whip smart dialogue, and I love it. It makes me laugh so hard, and it makes me really feel for these characters, but I really need to find that storyline reason as to why I'm going to be coming back. Hopefully, this issue delivers on that. You'll Do Bad Things, number 3. Similarly to the previous issue here, this is again that linchpin issue. I feel like we've been delivered more so about what the mysteries of this world and our characters mean in the pages of You'll Do Bad Things, but I'm trying to find out what the hook line is going to be on this now. What is the purpose of this book? What is the mission statement? We don't know that quite yet, and we don't necessarily know if our main character is a hero or villainous person in the pages of this book. I'm looking to find out the details of that with this issue. Moving over to my favorite variants of the week, we have Absolute Martian Manhunter number 3, cover C by Dan Panosian. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 3, cover E, the 1 in 50 ratio variant by Sean Crystal. Absolute Wonder Woman number 8, cover D, the 1 in 25 variant by Meredith McLaren. Batman number 160, cover G, the 1 in 25 variant by Ben Oliver. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell number 2, the Hidden Gem variant 1 in 50 ratio by Frank Miller. Moving over to the trade paperbacks and hardcovers being released this week, I'm interested in looking into Jenny Sparks, the story written by Tom King. I didn't have any history with the authority or planetary properties in the past, so I was trepidatious about jumping into this with the floppies. This has been, from what I understand, a divisive series here, but I wanted to try to get my own opinion on this, so I'm excited to dive in and see what this is going to be about. Long Cold Winter, the trade paperback, written by Francesca Perillo with artwork by Stefano Cartaselli. I absolutely loved this series. It was a really fun, lighthearted, adventurous story in the vein of like a lone wolf and cub type of storyline. It was really fantastic, but I have to say the reason for picking this up is definitely going to be Stefano's artwork. It really is stunning. It's really unique in comparison to each and every other book that I'm reading month over month. This is something that I definitely want on my bookshelf. Superman Volume 4, The Rise of Superwoman, the trade paperback, written by Joshua Williamson with artwork by Dan Mora. Just like I said previously with the new issue that's coming out, Joshua Williamson is crafting one of the best superhero comic books that's hitting stands month over month. This is the onset of the storyline that pulls in some of the nostalgic qualities such as Doomsday and what Doomsday is right now and the uneasy alliance he's trying to form with Clark Kent. The Transformers Compendium Volume 1 trade paperback. This is going to be compiling all of the past Transformers properties outside of the scope of the Skybound Energon universe that's been recently hitting here. And it's kind of exciting to take a look back into the past of what these character storylines had and kind of the quality of those comic books in the past. But I have to say, one of the main selling points for me is that incredible Bill Sienkiewicz cover. And finally, Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko, Volume 2, Children of the Atom trade paperback. This is a take it or leave it, love it or hate it kind of quality to this storyline, but I gotta say, it's always done enough to kind of keep me along for the ride. I'm really excited to see where Peach is going to continue taking this, as our character group has really started to disperse out but grow as individuals, and the meaning of what it is to be a mutant within this Ultimate Universe is starting to take hold and take shape. This is definitely going to like really show you the qualities of what this universe is doing for mutantdom. So those are the comics that I'll be picking up and the news that got me excited this week. But I'm more curious, what are you going to be picking up, reading, and what got you excited? Do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe and be part of the panel. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you next week.